Hello, it's John Heaton, and today I'm going to tackle my favourite 30 George Harrison songs, which I don't think I've done, or if I have done it, it was a long time ago. So I did my top 25 for Lennon, just 25 because his catalogue is not so extensive. And I was going to do 25 for George, and then I just couldn't leave out 5, so I made it 30. Again, this is just my opinion. It's only my favourites. Doesn't mean it's the best at all. Probably doesn't agree with your opinion, but it's a bit of fun at the end of the day, and I hope you won't be offended by my choices. Just a couple of things to say at the beginning. I've excluded cover songs, of which there are a few in George's career. Just picked Harry songs. So Devil in the Deep Blue Sea is a big favourite of mine, but I didn't include it I didn't consider it. And I Really Love You from Gon Troppo is another favourite of mine, with Willie Green doing those great bass vocals. And the couple of covers on Summer in England, didn't include those. If Not For You from All Things Must Pass, superb of course. Haven't included Wilburys. There are a few near misses. It was a tough thing to choose, and I'm going to divide this video into two, like I did the Beatles one, and go through 16 to 30 today, and then 1 to 15 in my second video. And at number 30, start off in reverse order, we've got first track, side 2 of this album, Gon Troppo, and Mystical One is the track I've chosen. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and not many people talk about this track. I think that's the way it goes, rightly gets the recognition from this album, but Mystical One is pretty much top-notch George, and played very nicely with people on guesting. I think Joe Brown's on this track playing some nice mandolin from memory. Let me just check that. Yeah, he is. Ray Cooper, Herbie Flowers on bass, Henry Spinetti on drums. Very good rhythm section. So that was number actually I cheated, it's number 30 equal. So I chose two. This is my top 31 George, if we're being strict, but at 30 equal, Mystical One and the track from side 2 of this album, that which I Have Lost, which was one of the tracks which George replaced. He was asked to get rid of 4 of the original tracks on the original album presented to Warner Brothers, and he came up with a very angry riposte to the record industry, which was Blood from a Clone. And this is one of the other tracks he substituted as well, and I think it works really well. It's got a great tune, a great hook, and lovely guitar solo in the middle, so that's a big favourite of mine from that album. Number 29, I've gone with All Things Must Pass, and the opening track, I'd Have You Any Time, and this is one I missed out when I did the top 25. I suddenly realised I'd missed this one out, and couldn't do that. And it's just, if you've ever tried to play this, there's some wonderful major 7th chords going all the way through the song, and very, very effective and quite unusual chords, really, compared to a lot of pop songs. And I think it is co-written with Bob Dylan, but I think George is writing the verse and Dylan's writing the chorus, from what I've read. And Eric Clapton's supplying the guitar, the lead guitar. For some reason, George didn't play lead on quite a bit of All Things Must Pass, particularly on this track, I seem to remember. So 28, I've also gone with All Things Must Pass. It's the first track on side 4, which not a lot of people praise. It's called I Dig Love. And it's got this great piano riff at the beginning. I'm not sure if that's Bobby Whitlock or Gary Wright playing that. And very sincere words, lovely message to the song, and small but love, big love, I don't care, love's all good love to me. I just, come on and get it, it's free. I just love the sentiment of the song, and a very nice build up to the guitar solo towards the end of the song. Number 27, I'm going to go with Material World, and it's the track which Spector actually produced for Ronnie Spector, Try Some Buy Some, but Ronnie Spector decided not to release it. She did release it, but it wasn't a big success. And George thought, well, I'm going to use it for my album, even though the register it was in was a little high for his voice. He tackled it quite bravely, and Spector's arrangement is beautiful. I think John Lennon was saying that particular arrangement inspired the arrangement for Happy Christmas, War Is Over, which, if you want to do some comparison shopping, it's quite similar. kind of arrangement. So that's a beautiful song from Material World. 27, 26, we're going to go with Dark Horse, and the second track on side one is Simply Shady. And the thing I love about this song is it's so honest, and after the last couple of albums preaching about religion and stuff, here he is owning up and saying, I don't always practice what I preach. Somebody brought the juicer, I thought I'd take a sip, came off the rails so crazy, my senses took a dip. And as the bottle hit the floor, I had time to think. I was blinded by desire, the elephant turned pink. It's really quite a troubling lyric, and he was going through a troubling period, and it's reflected in this song, and I absolutely love it. A nice one to play as well on the piano. Number 25, I haven't got the CD with me, but it's from Brainwashed, and I've chosen Rising Sun, which is a gorgeous kind of ballad type song with some very nice string arrangement from Jeff Lynne and Donny, because I guess when George recorded it, it was more or less just a demo, and then Jeff and Donny added some strings to make it sound more polished, and did a very good job. It's a lovely song. Dark Horse is number 24, the title track, Dark Horse, running on a dark race course. Again, another revealing lyric, just shows where George was, the state of his life in 74 with going through the divorce and trying to go on tour and losing his voice all at the same time. I love the Andy Newmark drums on this, in the rhythm of a horse sort of cantering or galloping along. It's very effective. 23, we're going to go back to Gone Troppin'. It's the track I mentioned earlier, That's the Way It Goes. Absolutely sensational track. I was trying to play this one with a couple of mates the other day, and it's quite tricky drum pattern which Henry Spinetti lays down. It's quite a tricky time signature, but the actual chords are very easy. It's just G and C, I think, mainly, and maybe D is in there somewhere as well, but very simple song, but very effective, and love the words. There's a man talking of the promised land, he'll acquire it with some Krugerrand, subdivide and deal it out, feel his clout, he can stoop so low. Willie Green is on great bass vocals on that song. Probably the highlight of Gone Troppo, along with Mystical One, which I chose earlier. 22, we're going to go back to 33 and a third, and if you haven't checked it out, I did a review of this album with Matt Williamson of Pop Goes the 60s on his channel at the weekend, so check that one out. And this is the opening track, Woman Don't You Cry For Me, with Alvin Taylor and Willie Weeks supplying the funky rhythm, and George playing lead guitar superbly, and which he'd kind of neglected on the previous two albums, his guitar duties, and so he makes up for it on 33 and a third, and that's a lovely opener. 21, we're going to go back to Dark Horse, and it's a big favourite of mine, My Love. And thanks to James Griffiths, I found that the 74 George tour is on YouTube. Not brilliant quality, picture-wise or sound-wise, but watchable. And My Love, is very interesting to see that one played. And Harry's on Tour Express as well. That was very enjoyable. A couple of songs missing from that YouTube concert, but very, very nice to check out. And My Love, yeah, it just rocks along really nicely. And Billy Preston's applying this electric piano. I think it's Billy. Big favourite. Number 20, we're going to go to, do I have the album with me? Yeah, Cloud 9. And it's the first track on side 2, and it's The Devil's Radio. I love the message. Apparently George was just driving past a church and saw this this placard saying, have churches have placards with a quote from the Bible or something. And on this occasion, the placard said, don't be a broadcaster. Basically, don't gossip. Because it's the Devil's Radio, and George thought that's a good title, made it into a song, and it's very effective. If push comes to shove it, it's in my top 2 or 3 on the Cloud 9 album. Number 19, we're going to go with the John Lennon tribute, All Those Years Ago, and was listening to this earlier today along with the rest of Somewhere in England, and it's held up well. It's a lovely tune. It's again, very nice chords, sort of diminished seventh and stuff running all the way through, which is kind of a trademark of George's. And Ringo's on drums, Paul and Linda and Denny Lane are supplying backing vocals. So it's about as close to we got to a Beatles reunion for many years since I'm the Greatest, really. Number 18, we've got what was a very overlooked track. It came out as the B-side on Cheer Down, and it's Poor Little Girl, and it also turned up on his Greatest Hits Volume 2. And I think this is a sensational track, and Jeff Lynne does a storming job producing it, and with the backing vocals, Whole Lotta Love. Very catchy, and you know, this album is as good as anything on Cloud 9, and easily deserves to be in my list, but I don't know if it's in yours, but I thought I'd choose that at number 18. Number 17, we've got the B-side of a single, the Bangladesh single in 1971, came out with Deep Blue on the B-side with lovely guitar playing, and it's a very sad song about his mother passing away. She just passed away just before he recorded it, I think. And he probably wrote the song as she was going through her last months, and it's got me Deep Blue, and yeah, very nice guitar riff. Love that song to bits. Number 16, we've got a highlight from 33 and a Third, Beautiful Girl, which he wrote, originally started in 69, so I guess the original lyric might have been about Patty, but by the time he came to finish it in 76, he was with Olivia, so she probably inspired the lyric, or the second half of the lyrics anyway. And yeah, there's a couple of lyrics which don't work really. Like, I knew that when I first saw her that she was A1. I think that's a bit of a weak line, but other than that, it's just brilliant and lovely melody and great guitar playing. So that was 16 to 30, and I'm afraid you're going to have to wait another few days before I post the 1 to 15. And again, if you disagree, that's okay. It's only my opinion. Thanks for watching. See you next time.